Hello everyone and welcome to another game of Squirrels Baseball. This is Aaron and we've got one more game against the Cubs here in Wrigley. Got a bench guys day today and I think we're taking out the non-apples today if I remember right. So that's what we're doing. Whether I'm right or wrong, it's what's happening. There you go. I think that's everybody. Let's switch you guys. Switch there. Okay. Alright, and here is our last view this year of Wrigley Field. Looks like we got a nice afternoon game going on. Alright. Same lineup we've been seeing out of the Cubs this series. One thing about our lineup is that it works better on offense when we switch Quentin in for Zach, but we're much better defensively when he goes in for Frank out in left. So probably a better trade-off for the offense, but you never know. Santana on the mound. I want to say it was Irvin Santana, but I'm not 100% sure of that. Yeah, Irvin Santana. I honestly don't really remember him that much, but the name rang a bell. Phil starts off the game with the ground ball to short, and that is the first out. Here is Miyake to the plate. Fastball goes high. Grounds this to the other Santana on the field, playing second. 2 away. Here is Quentin. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a phone call from my wife. One moment while I pause here. All right, here we go again. Base is empty. 2 outs. Quentin, batting left-handed, has a 1-1 count. Hits this on a ground ball that gets through the middle for a base hit. A 2-out single, and that will bring Terry to the plate. He looks at strike 1. Swing and a miss to make it 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Squirrels with a hit but no runs to start the game. The Cubs will start off with Matt Merton at the plate. You see the bench lineup that we have in the game today. Paulie on the mound. Paulie starts the game off with the fastball for strike 1. Then throws the knuckleball in for a strike, 0-2. High fastball gets a swing and a miss for strike 3. 1 away. Here's Orlando Cabrera. First pitch is called a strike. Second pitch down and in. That one over the outside corner. It's a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 up, 2 strikeouts. Here's Carlos Pena. He will start off with a ball. Grounded foul. 1-1. A swing and a miss makes it 1-2. And this pitch down and away. We've got a 2-2 count with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Paulie strikes out the side to start the game. No runs as we move into the second inning, where Frank will lead things off for the Squirrels. Already gone through my whole cup of water. Might have to refill that. I still got lots of ice. Frank with a 1-1 count. Hits a line drive. That'll go into right center and roll back to the wall. I don't think the balls get stuck in the ivy in this game, so Frank's in there with a conventional double. Sweeney at the plate then. First threat of the game, and this goes through the right side of the infield, but hit too hard to get Frank home. Ball back in too quickly, so it's up to Martinez to try to knock in a run. Runners on the corners with nobody out, and Martinez ahead of that pitch. This one is down and in. Hits a ground ball. Frank stays at third. The throw goes to second, and that is the only out that the Cubs end up getting. So runners still on the corners now for Joey with 1 out, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. Swing and a miss makes it 0-2. This is going to go into left field, and it will get down for a hit, and the Squirrels will start the scoring today. They now lead 1-0. There's Pauly at the plate. Runners on first and second with 1 out, and he puts down a bunt. He gets tagged out, but it does move both runners to second and third respectively. So a successful sacrifice brings Phil to the plate, and he will look at strike 1. And this is called strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. All right, the Squirrels leading 1-0 after a, well, I guess a 3-hit inning. One of those hits was last inning. Rongo is going to lead things off for the Cubs in the 4th. Pauly starts him off with the fastball right down the middle, and Rongo does not swing. Swings at this one, but he's actually behind it. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. All strikeouts so far for Pauly as Santana comes to the plate. This is second baseman Santana, for the record. It's got a 2-0 count. This one is down and away. It's 3-0. There's a fastball in for a strike. Swing and a miss makes it a full count. Popped up. Martinez will catch that one, and that is the first non-strikeout for the Cubs. So I guess that's progress, even if it was a foul out. Telemaco to the plate with 2 outs, nobody on, and he will look at strike 1. Another pop-up. Pauly's going to field it himself back behind the mound, and that will end the inning. 1-0 Squirrels as we move into the 3rd, where Miyake will lead things off. Miyake ground out in his first at bat. Looks at strike 1 here. Ground ball that will get through for another base hit. Leadoff single up the middle. And Quinton will come to the plate. Got a base hit in his first at bat. So he fouls off this first pitch down the first base side. A bit of a high hop to it, but definitely foul. Swing and a miss makes it 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 down, runner on first. Terry struck out in his first at bat. He puts this into center field, and it'll get down for a single. Puts runners on first and second with just the 1 out. Frank got a base hit in his first at bat, a double in fact, and he looks at strike 1. Looks at strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away, here's Sweeney. Got a base hit in his first at bat, though it was not an RBI base hit. Frank stopped at third. Fouls this one straight back. He's got a 1-1 count. Ground ball to second. Santana will go to first with it to end the inning. Still a 1-0 Squirrels lead as we go to the bottom half of the inning. Pablo Ozuna is going to lead things off for the Cubs. First pitch called strike one. And that's outside. We've got a 1-1 count. There's a high hop. Pauly will field it himself towards second base, and that is the first out of the inning. Shabilo to the plate. As you might have been able to hear, that is how at least the PA announcer pronounces that name. And he comes up with the first Cubs hit of the day, first Cubs base runner of the day. And here is the pitcher, Santana, at the plate. Starts off with a fastball that's too high. And swings and misses to make it a 1-1 count. Too far outside. Got a 2-1 count. This one up and out, 3-1. There's a strike. We got a full count, 1 on, 1 out. Called strike 3. 2 away. Matt Mertens struck out in his first at-bat. One of 5 Cubs to strike out the first time through the order. Looks at strike 1 here. This one hit towards third. Sweeney takes care of that, and that will end the inning. We go to the 4th. The Cubs still leading 1-0. Martinez will lead things off. First pitch to Martinez is called a strike. This is fouled away over by the first base dugout, which happens to be the Squirrels dugout today. Towards the middle, but Santana's going to glove this one and get it to first. One down. Here is Joey, who will look at strike 1. Swings and misses to make it 0-2. And that one down and away. Joey lays off. And that pitch is too high. We've got a 2-2 count. Fouled off over kind of between the dugout and the bullpen. Towards the middle, a high hop. Cabrera takes it and gets it over to first in plenty of time. 2 down, base is empty. Pauly had a sac bunt in his first at-bat, and he's going to come up with a base hit into left in this at-bat. Solid hit. Brings Phil to the plate. He is 0 for 2. Ground out and a strikeout. Looks at strike 1 here. Bounces in a curve. Up the middle, but Cabrera gloves it before it can find the outfield. So still a 1-0 Squirrels lead, and Orlando Cabrera is going to lead things off for the Cubs in the bottom half of the inning. Struck out in his first at-bat. I'd say the first 3 batters all struck out. Actually, no, first 4 batters all struck out for the Cubs before we finally got a foul out to break things up a little bit. 3-0 count in this at-bat, though. And put in there for strike 1. Swing and a miss to make it a full count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pauly comes all the way back. Carlos Pena, as mentioned, already struck out once today. Looks at strike 1 here. Swing and a miss will make it 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away. Rongo also struck out in his first at-bat. Swings and misses at the knuckleball. Knuckleball's fouled away to make it 0-2. Hit sharply to third, but Sweeney grabs it and gets it to first to end the inning. We go to the 5th, still a 1-0 ball game. Miyake is going to lead things off for the Squirrels. And to be clear, it is a 1-0 Squirrels lead ball game. Miyake 1 for 2, got a base hit in his last at-bat. Swings and misses at the first pitch here. Looks at strike 2. swing and a miss, strike 3. One down, Quinton, 1 for 2, struck out in his last at-bat. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Hits this one, that'll go through the left side of the infield, and that is a 1-out single. Brings Terry to the plate, got a base hit in his last at-bat. Looks at strike 1. This one hit weakly to short, but it's weak enough that the only play was to first. So almost works out like a bunt. 2 outs now. Frank at the plate with the runner in scoring position. The first pitch is called a strike. This pitch is outside. We got a 1-1 count. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Squirrels lead 1-0 as we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. And Santana will lead things off at the plate. Again, the second baseman, Santana. I will pause very briefly to go refill my water here. All right, back to it. Here is Santana. He will start things off with a pitch that's too low. This one up and out. It's a 2-0 count. Paulie misses again, 3-0. And bounces that one in for a walk. He does lead the team in walks, so I don't remember the number, and that feels like that's something you're just going to have to live with the knuckleballer. First pitch from Telemaco is fouled away. This one could be a double play ball. Throw to second, Joey back to first. That is a 3-6-1 double play. That also ends the inning, I do believe. Oh, no, it does not. My apologies. Pablo Ozuna, 2 outs and the base is empty. So that first pitch is outside. So that is one way to make sure a walk doesn't hurt you. Ozuna with a 2-1 count. Paulie misses again. Gotten a bit wild here. Gets a swing and a miss. There's a full count, 2 outs, nobody on base. Called strike 3, and that will end the 5th inning. Squirrels leading 1-0 as we move into the 6th, where Sweeney will lead things off. Sweeney 1 for 2 on the day. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Hits this one into center, but Shabilo just has to drift in a little bit and make the catch. 1 down, here's Martinez. He has ground out in both at-bats so far today. The first pitch down at his feet. And this pitch is too high. We got a 2-0 count. Hits this one right over third base. That'll be a base hit as it rolls down into the bullpen area. Martinez settles for the single and brings Joey to the plate. He is 1 for 2. 1 on, 1 out, and this one into left field, and it'll get down for a base hit. Let's see. We do want Paulie to pitch another inning. He's going to show bunt. He did get a base hit in his last at-bat. Pulls it back the last second, and it is called a ball. Puts this one down, and it will stay fair. Pretty good bunt, actually. Successful sacrifice moves runners into second and third for Phil. There are 2 outs now, though. Phil hitless today. Looks at a ball inside. There's a called strike. Another called strike makes it 1-2. Ground ball right to short, and that will end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Squirrels still with a 1-0 lead. And Shavilo will start things off for Chicago. Shavilo got a base hit in his first at-bat. Looks at strike 1. This one just a bit outside. Called strike, makes it 1-2. Called strike for strike 3. 1 down. Here is Irvin Santana, the pitcher. I want to say he struck out in his first at-bat, but I don't remember that for certain. Pops this one up. Paulie waiting for it off to the first base side of the mound. 2 down, and here is Matt Merton. Paulie sitting on 9 strikeouts. He's probably going to need to strike out Merton if he wants to get that 10th strikeout of the day. He's only got coming into the day, I think like a 5 strikeout lead over Jonathan, who's had a big strikeout year out of nowhere. Does not get the strikeout. Instead, Merton pops out to Joey. We move into the 7th inning, still a 1-0 Squirrels lead. And here is Miyake at the plate. He is 1 for 3. Looks at strike 1. This pitch up and in. And this pitch down and out. 2-1. Ground ball. Santana fields it himself. 1 away. Here is Quinton. He is 2 for 3. Couple singles sandwiched around his strikeout. First pitch up and away. Grounds this one foul to make it 1-1. Up the middle, that's a solid base hit. 1 on with 1 out. Terry, 1 for 3 on the day. Watches that pitch sail, 1 up and away, 1-0. And then this changeup in the dirt. Called a strike, makes it 2-1. Hits this one into left. Merton's not going to get there. It'll fall in for a base hit. Throw goes to third. Runners on second and third. So we get a replay of that one. All right, here's Frank. 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out. And it's going to hook foul. That had a home run distance, but couldn't keep it fair. Then looks at strike 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away, Sweeney at the plate. 2 runners still out there ready to score. Looks at strike 1. Swings and misses to make it 0-2. Ground ball to second, and the Cubs wiggle out of that trouble. Squirrels do lead 1-0 as we go into the 7th inning stretch. Orlando Cabrera to lead off on the other side. We will go ahead and change pitchers. Go get Nakai. Cabrera has struck out in both at-bats so far today. Starts off this at-bat with a ball. And then another ball, both changeups that missed the zone. Nakai throws in a curveball. That one's called a strike. Back to the changeup, and it again misses. 3-1. Called strike on the outer corner, makes it a full count. And this changeup is put over Joey's head and in for only the 2nd Cubs hit of the day. 3rd Cubs base runner. There was a walk in there. We're going to get a pinch runner. Carlos Quinton is going to come in to pinch run for Orlando Cabrera. Carlos Pena looks at strike 1. Looks at strike 2. Looks at strike 3. One down. Here's Rongo Rongo. He is 0 for 2. First pitch called a strike. Excuse me, we got a ground ball. Phil will go to second. Joey back to first in time for 6-3 double play, and that one does end the inning. Martinez is going to lead things off for the Squirrels. They lead 1-0, although they've out-hit the Cubs 12-2. And Carlos Quinton is going to come out of the game for J.J. Hardy. Irvin Santana wipes his brow and then throws a curveball outside. This fastball catches the plate to make it 1-1. That one is too high. 2-1. Martinez will not get that over Pena's head. He makes the catch. One down. Joey is 2 for 3. And I think Joey might have I think he's got the lone RBI so far today. Grounds this one to second, and that will bring us to the pitcher spot. We'll go ahead and pinch hit. Maybe we'll let's go with Swan.
Number 32, Swan.
First pitch inside. Fouled back. That'll make it 0-2. Sorry, 1-1. That first pitch was a ball. Ground ball to third. Ozuna to first, and that will end the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Squirrels still hanging on to that 1-0 lead. Santana will lead things off at the plate for Chicago. Right, Hermida in here to do his setup work. Santana has fouled out and walked so far. Hits this one. It's actually going to be a foul out again to third. 1 away. Telemaco 0 for 2. Flew out and hit into a double play. Looks at strike 1. Looks at strike 2. And this one is out of the zone. Goes with the big curveball, and it's fouled away. Goes to it again. This time he gets a swing and a miss. 2 down. Pablo Ozuna is 0 for 2. Grounds this one to first. Terry will step on the bag. And we'll move into the 9th inning. Squirrels still ahead 1-0. They will start off with Phil to try to get an insurance run. Phil 0 for 4 today. First pitch is outside. Hit back towards the middle, but not hard enough to be a hit. Hardy short hops it and gets it to first. 1 down. Here is Miyake. He is 1 for 4. First pitch called a strike on the outside. This one almost hits Miyake. He spins out of the way. 1-1. Hits this one pretty hard, and it will one-hop the wall. Miyake going for second, and he will be in there comfortably. Didn't hit it all that high, but he did hit it pretty hard. And that's going to knock Santana out of the game. Taylor Tankersley is going to take over on the mound. Right, Quinton 3 for 4, but this is his first right-handed at-bat. Runner on second with an out. First pitch in there for a strike. Swing and a miss makes it 0-2. swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away, here's Terry. And this pitch gets away. The runner will move down to third. 2 outs though. And Terry hits this foul. Makes it a 1-1 count. Swing and a miss to make it 1-2. Grounds this one just foul down the first base line. I actually thought it went over the base. This one definitely fair, but also right to Hardy, who goes to first, and that will end the top of the inning. Still a 1-0 Squirrels lead. Cubs 8-9-1 to start things off, and they will do so against Shibuya, who just went over 60 saves for the year, if I remember right. Oh, no, forgot what I was doing. All right, there is Shibuya. All right, Shabilo 1 for 2, single and a strikeout. Looks at strike 1 here. Ground ball. Looks like Terry's going to field it, but nobody on first. That's going to go down as an infield hit. So David Ortiz is going to come in. He would be the winning run, and should he really get a hold of one here. First pitch in there for strike 1. Popped it up. Shibuya makes the catch. 1 down. Matt Merton is 0 for 3 today. First pitch called a strike. Popped up again. Terry's going to catch this one near first. 2 away. Cubs down to their final out, and it's J.J. Hardy. His first at-bat of the day. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Ground ball. Sweeney on to first. Not in time. That's another infield hit. 2 on, 2 out. Carlos Pena tying run in scoring position as he looks at strike 1. Swings and misses to make it 0-2. And he gets a ground ball. Terry will step on the bag, and that is your ball game. Final score today, Indianapolis Squirrels 1, Chicago Cubs 0. We are done with the Cubs now for this year, and they will not make the playoffs. I do believe we go on the road to Milwaukee next before coming home against the Pirates. Just another week and change left here in this regular season. Alright, Shibuya and Joey will share Player of the Game honors. Thank you everybody for watching. If you'd like to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, feel very free. Otherwise, like I said, I believe we are in Milwaukee tomorrow. We will see you then.